Hey guys, Kevin from Rise Forums. What I'm going to do in this video is I want to talk about something that sounds super cheesy, and it is cheesy, but I also think it's true. And what it is I think that everyone should, when it comes to their online career, when it comes to building websites and making money online, I think people should listen to their inner voice. And that sounds so hippie, it's unbelievable. But I think it's true. I think there's a lot to be said about listening to your inner voice and having belief in yourself that something's going to work. And it's easy to lose that. I did this before. I've had a lot of highs and lows with working online, and I mean it's been a good ride. The roller coaster's been fun, but a few years ago when I sold my websites, before I sold on my main website at the time, I went travelling South America. So when I come back from travelling, after 9 months or so, I basically had a clean slate. It was like I'd kind of hit the reset button. I was like, right, what am I going to do to move forward? What am I going to do? Am I going to build websites? Am I going to write books? Am I going to write for other people? Am I going to do videos? I had all these different ideas, and at the time I had produced YouTube videos, so that was one idea that I had. The other was that I was going to go full-time and just start producing books, and the other idea was to produce another blog. And those were the ones that I wanted to do, but I didn't listen to my inner voice. What I did do was listen to my ex-girlfriend at the time, who I think, not to criticise her, but I think she was a little bit of a negative person. I'm quite a positive, optimistic person, and she was really worried at the time that we wouldn't have enough money. She was worried about the fact that we wouldn't have a lot, we'd be kind of scrimping and saving. That's what I've did a lot in the past. See, when I've sold websites, what I've did is I've sold my website, so I've lost a lot of my monthly income, but I've just went back to basics. And I don't need a lot of money to live anyway, to be honest. Once my bills are paid, I'm happy. I normally get back to basics. I just start working from scratch, and I just focus on the long-term goal of building, the thing that I've envisioned, whether it be a blog or a book or whatever. I just spend all my time thinking, no, I want to get this finished. I'm not detracted. By the time, we had responsibilities, etc. So I started freelancing for other people. And I think I've talked about this before. It's the issue of make money now versus make money later. So what I did was I gave in. I didn't like seeing her stressed. I didn't like seeing her unhappy. And perhaps in some ways she was right that we needed money in the door right then. So I started writing for other people. The problem with that is, in the short-term freelancing like that is okay. I'm not talking about in a secure job. If you get hired on a salaried job, that's a different story. But freelancing, as good as it can be, I think from a marketer's point of view, from an affiliate marketing point of view, if you're someone who can build websites and build assets, then you're really building someone else's future instead of your own. And that's what I did. I started helping other people build their vision, their future. Now I can't complain. At the time, I was doing a lot of freelancing. I was making a lot of money. I was some months, we were making $6,000, $7,000 and things like that. And the thing is, I really should have been putting all that energy, all that time, all that hard work into producing the things that I wanted. I had a lot of ideas at the time for books. I had a lot of ideas at the time for guides and things like that. And it would be easy for me to look back and say, point blame, say it was my ex-girlfriend's fault. She was the one that said I should have did that. But that would be completely the wrong thing to do. It wasn't her fault. It was mine. I made the decision to do that. I made the decision to go down that route. But what I did do was let her opinion influence me. She didn't know anything about internet marketing. She didn't know anything about making money online. I do. I know how to make money online, and I knew that I had to go back to scratch and start building assets again from the beginning, whether it be a blog or whether it be books or anything like that. But I didn't listen to myself, I listened to her. And I think that's the thing. I'm not angry at her, I'm not disappointed in her. I was disappointed in myself that I didn't listen to my inner voice. I didn't listen to what I knew. I mean, I knew that was the route I should have went down, and I didn't do it. And I mean, I think everyone in life has regrets. You know, when you're with everything. You know, I try not to live that way. You know, I try not to. I think it's important to look forward in all aspects of life, and especially when you're talking about you know, building websites online. It's easy to kind of get caught up in what you did wrong, but you can't fix what happened in the past. All you can do is take everything you did, look at it as a lesson, and then move forward. So I think moving forward, I'm listening to my inner voice again. I see whenever I say that, it sounds so cheesy, but it is. You know, it's really about just believing in what you think you should do. I think you should do it. You know, and especially when you've got a lot of experience in an area and you know that it will work, you're going to have a lot of other people coming into your life. You know, you're going to have positive people, you're going to have negative people, and you're going to have people that say, "Oh, you can do this. Good luck, it's going to work." But you're going to have people saying, "No, I don't think you should do that," or "That's never going to work," or "Why don't you do this?" And they're going to detract you from your goal. And that's, you know, I think if you look at the most successful people in the world, online, in the world, in any aspect, you know, whether it be sports, whether it be making money, or people who have found success or found happiness, there's a certain stubbornness about them. There's a certain stubbornness where they didn't let anyone detract them from what they wanted to do. They focused entirely on what their goal was, and then they achieved it. And I think there's a lot to be said about that. So I know you guys, you know, a lot of you guys are in the same position as me. You've got blogs, you try to make money online, and I think that it's okay. I think there's always kind of negative elements in your life, and I don't mean that in a bad way. You know, there's some people who are perhaps, you know, negative for a reason, and there's people who are positive a bit. What I'm trying to explain is I think you can go to extremes. For example, I've got a friend who's so positive to the point where it's almost like delusion, where, you know, he doesn't realise that something is actually bad, you know, because he's just so happy-go-lucky. But in the same token, there are people who have got things quite well, you know, that are relatively well off, and they're happy and they've got everything they need, but then they're negative and they're down and they're depressed. And these people, you know, if you surround yourself with too many negative people, I think it can bring you down, and I think it can detract you from what you're trying to do. And I guess in the same token, it's not good having too many yes people around you either, that just nod their head and say, yeah, you should do that. It is good having people that, you know, that will give you their opinion. But I think the most important thing is to listen to your inner voice and listen to what you believe, and go for it. You will make mistakes, like, you know, like doing what you believe in and doing what you think is right doesn't mean that you're always going to be right. It doesn't. But it means that you're not being detracted. You know, I think, see, when you listen to too many other people about what you should be doing, it feels like you're getting pulled in all directions, and the outcome of that is that you don't do anything really. You don't do anything good, you know. So instead of focusing all your attention on the one thing that you wanted to, you start going, well, I'll do this, well, I'll do that, will you do that? And then you end up doing nothing. And that's not good either. So I'm sure you've all been in this situation before, and I'm not just talking about working online. I'm sure, you know, there's, you know, the older you get through more life experiences, and there's probably lots of times where you've thought, no, this is what I should do, but rather than doing that, you've listened to someone else, and then in hindsight you thought that was a mistake. So I think that's something to take on board. I hope that's something you remember when you're planning your projects online, when you're trying to make money online. You might have an idea, and some people might say you're crazy. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you shouldn't listen to people with more experience, because you should. You know, if someone's saying, I've been there, done that, this is why, you know, ABC, 1, 2, 3, this is why it didn't work, and this is why it would work this way, then you should listen to them. But I don't listen to too many negative influences in your life. And if you think something's going to work, if you've got a vision for something to work, I think you can make it work, you know. It's not going to be easy, you're going to have to work a lot to do it, but it can be done. So I'd love to hear, you know, if you've got any stories about this kind of thing, please let me know in the comment area. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. You can leave a comment below on YouTube or on Rise Forums, and please subscribe to the Rise Forums channel if you haven't already done so. Thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, take care.